I want to start a new series where we analyze some famous people's charts. So we're going to start off with Aries because Aries is the first sign for the zodiacs. And the Aries chart that we'll be looking at is Yayoi Kusama. She's an artist. If you guys haven't heard of her, you should definitely look her up because she's very inspiring and has an interesting life story. She definitely inspired me as an artist, but let's get into her birth chart. So Miss Kusama's birthday is March 22nd, so happy birthday to her. And she just turned 94. She's an Aries sun and rising, which is very interesting considering that you don't know too many people that have the same sun and rising sign. Also, if you are someone who does have this influence in your chart where you have the same sun and rising, comment it down below because I would like to know yours too. So let's start off with her first house. Because of that double Aries influence, the first house has some serious energy going on. She definitely is here to be a leader and to make an impact in the world when it comes to her self-expression and the art scene. She kept pushing to make a name for herself and was fighting for her voice to be heard, which ties into that fiery Aries energy. Aries energy is also very determined, which was definitely used for her advantage as she made her mark in history as an artist. Aries also rules over being first in life, and because she has the Uranus influence in her first house, it definitely allowed her to be a revolutionary for the world. She became one of the very first successful Japanese women in art to be acknowledged in America, which was very critical at the time because she was up and coming, and because her competition was in a Caucasian male dominated atmosphere, it was very interesting and important for her to really push herself out there and to be set aside as another artist to be included in the space. It was definitely a part of her life purpose to be a born leader and to become a visionary as well. She paved the way as a leader for other women of color to follow their passions of art. Another little thing that I would like to note is that Aries rules over Japan, so it's interesting to see that her rising captures her heritage of being Japanese, and one of the very first things people notice about her in her physical appearance. To continue, her art is very bold and stands out amongst other artists who had similar styles because hers was coming from strictly emotions. Her art style is primarily contemporary, even though it has some abstract influences as well. Usually the art world would describe this style as a little bit chaotic and full of energy, which pretty much ties into that Aries energy, but for her, she chose a calm and collective approach. She was also a big influence in the up-and-coming minimalist art movement, so her work was definitely a transition ground, bridging the two different art styles of the abstract and minimalism. Touching on that Aries influence, she was very courageous in following her passions, so she made the decision to leave her home in a rural town in Japan to search for better opportunities. We can also note that because she has her Chiron in Taurus in the first house, her pain is translated into her art, which makes her view her art as a part of her identity. Identity is also ruled in the first house. We could also see that Jupiter in her chart is related to Taurus, which just shows that she's going to have a lot of abundance and success coming in long term. She'll be gaining her abundance and success through her being her most authentic self because of that Aries energy.